Hello, ladies! Once again, here we are. It's time to study for our AP test, and when we're taking a break from that, to check out a little marine biology. We've talked quite a bit about the baleen whales, and now it's time to talk about the toothed whales. The toothed whales are called odontoceti because they are in the family Odontocetidae. Remember, all families in an IDAE. So, I know what you're thinking. Wait a minute, Bushman. You said that all of the whales were in the order Cetacea. Now you're saying that these toothed whales are in the family Odontoceti? Well, remember, kings play chess on funny green squares. So the class Cetacea is more inclusive than the family Odontocetidae. So this has toothed and baleen whales. This only toothed whales. Okay, we got that taxonomy out of the way. Toothed whale characteristics. First, let me just get out who I'm talking about. I'm talking about true toothed whales, of course, but also dolphins, which are a group of toothed whales that look a little different, and porpoises. Yes, I spelled that on porpoise. All right, now that you're done groaning about that joke, they have a single opening in their blowhole. I think we talked about that before. They live in family groups called pods. So the baleen whales travel together when they migrate, and they kind of feed in the same area because that's where the food is. They're not as closely knit as the toothed whales, and that's why we use the term pods mainly for toothed whales. They eat squid and fish, but sometimes other marine mammals. So we talked about killer whales and how they eat other marine mammals last time. Male bottlenose dolphins don't eat other marine mammals, but they can be pretty cruel. They can kill other marine mammals, kind of the way your cat kills small birds, just for fun. It doesn't really eat them. They have more vocalization. How did I mess that up? Vocalization. So, the baleen whales use sound to communicate with one another, no doubt about it. But the toothed whales use sound to communicate with one another and to navigate, and something called echolocation, and to stun prey, and for a whole lot of other things. As I mentioned, this includes the dolphins and the porpoises. Well, what's the difference? Let's make a chart, shall we? Dolphin, no E. Porpoise. Okay, let's start with dorsal fin. That's the one that is on the back of the dolphin or porpoise. So in dolphins, it tends to be curved. And in porpoises, it tends to be much more stubby, less point. So more point, less point. So nose, they can be blunt or beak-like, where a porpoise can only have a blunt nose. Size, dolphins tend to be larger and porpoises tend to be smaller. Socialization, something like that. Dolphins tend to be in large, tight, knit groups, where porpoises tend to be in small aggregations. But the easiest way to tell is the teeth. Dolphins have cone-shaped teeth. Porpoises have spade-shaped teeth. That is your number one trait. So you'll never find a porpoise that doesn't have spade-shaped teeth. You'll never find a dolphin that doesn't have cone-shaped teeth. Yes? Yes. So now we're going to go a little bit off script. I'm going to add some supplemental and cool information that isn't in the PowerPoint, but that, of course, you'll still need to know. And that's types of dolphins and porpoise in California. You guys know I'm a bit biased. I always like to talk about the stuff that's right off of our coast. And we'll start with the Dall's porpoise. Okay, well, where is it found? Where is it found? Well, it can be found from Alaska to California. So all along the West Coast. I know what you're thinking. I can see it in your mind. But Mr. Bushman, there's an East Coast group as well. Yes, there's an East Coast group. I'm just talking about the West Coast. But you're right. There are Dall's porpoise that live on the East Coast as well. So they eat primarily fish, like schooling fish, and squid. However, they're generalists. They are generalist and will eat benthic and pelagic crabs. So if they can subdue it, they're going to eat it. These guys are very much of the philosophy that beggars can't be choosers, and when you come across food, you eat it. Harbor porpoise. Okay, so these can be found from Monterey to the Arctic. They don't come all the way down here to SoCal, but you can find them from Central California northward all the way up into the Arctic. Oh, I should mention, by the way, harbor porpoise are 5 to 5.5 feet long. Dall's porpoise are 7 to 8 feet long. All right, well, what do these harbor porpoises eat? They are strict fish eaters and rarely feed on squid, let alone feeding on crabs. They're hardly even going to feed on squid. So if you look at Dall's porpoise versus harbor porpoise and you look at groups, Dall's porpoises can be in large, loose groups. When I say large, I mean more than 10. And they form weird alliances, often seen traveling with white-sided dolphins, and it's going to get weirder, and pilot whales. I misspelled pilot, didn't I? Yes, I did. The next time I see you guys live, whenever that may be, ask me about the time I got to snorkel with the pilot whales. So harbor porpoises, you will see them in ones or twos, and sometimes in groups of about 10. They're pretty antisocial. They tend to stay in small family groups or by themselves. Okay, let's talk about dolphins. Short beak common dolphins. The short beaks and the long beaks both live here in California, but they are different species. They do not interbreed. These guys grow to 6 feet long. And so they live all along the California current. So if I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, you should be looking at a picture of the California current now, which originates near Alaska and then flows past Washington and Oregon down to California and south into Mexico. So in that whole range, you'll find these common dolphins. Makes sense that they're pretty easy to find, and that's why they're called common short-beak dolphins. They feed at night. And what do they eat? Eating fish and squid. And these guys can also be found in groups of 10, but not 10, 10,000. They form huge schools, absolutely massive schools, or if you prefer, pods. And then the last one we're going to talk about is the bottlenose dolphin. This is the one you guys have seen at SeaWorld. They get really big. 6 feet to 13 feet. Huge. They live along the coast of Washington, Oregon, and California, of course. And you'll have to ask me sometime, really anyone who's gone to the beach, gone in the water a fair amount of times, the time that the dolphins went underneath me. You know, there's always that, did I see a fin? I thought I saw a fin. I'm in the water and there's something has a fin. That's not so good. Oh, it's a curved fin. Oh, they're coming right at me. Hey, they're still coming right at me. They should be here by now. Where are... Hey, they went underneath me. They're on the other side now. That's cool. And these guys are generalist, feeding primarily on fish and squid. But I could talk for an hour about these guys, about how they use sound to stun their prey, they use sonar to capture fish under the sand, they create waves to strand fish onto the beach, and then they slide up and pick them off. All kinds of crazy stuff. Other notable things in California waters. So other notable dolphins or porpoise. So of course we got the Pacific white-sided dolphin. Risso's dolphin. Striped dolphin. But also, get ready for weirdness. Pilot whales are really dolphins. Pygmy killer whales are actually dolphins. And killer whales are orca, also dolphin. Turns out they are the largest member of the family. Look at those teeth. Those are dolphin teeth.